Well, it is time to start. Let's go over some of our upcoming dates. Friday, September 4, that is a week from Friday, right? Not this Friday, a week from Friday is when the intro assignment in Mastering Chemistry is due. All of these dates are in the calendar in the syllabus. I like to just start out with the quick reminder of just the dates coming up that are up until our first exam. Okay? So dates for 1, 2, and 3 are the following Fridays after that. You should, since we'll be doing probably the majority of Chapter 1 today and next time. We'll probably be able to either finish or almost finish Chapter 1 in class next time. So you should have all of Chapter 1 read in the textbook by next time. We didn't talk about that too much while we were going over the syllabus, but it actually is very beneficial to do at least some manner of reading before you come to class based on the material that we're going to be covering. So you're certainly not going to understand it all just from the textbook before you came to class. If everybody understood it just from the textbook, then there wouldn't be much need for having college classes. So read through it, enough so that you have some familiarity with it. If you end up with some kind of questions from it, that's even better, because if you see enough to make something kind of confusing, then if that resolves during the lecture, then that's an even better reinforcement, and it helps your learning even more. So try to get all the rest of Chapter 1 read by Monday and be ready to discuss and work with that. Several of you have introduced yourself in the D2L discussions. I'm looking forward to reading through those, and I'll reply to a couple. You can reply to each other. But if you haven't yet, go into D2L in the discussions and introduce yourself. So everybody should have done experiment 1 in lab now. Upload the Excel file to the D2L group Dropbox if you have not yet. That's how we hand things in. So I'll always make those group Dropboxes, so just one person out of the pair needs to submit it, and it's recorded for both of you then. So labs are always going to be due at the very beginning of the next lab. So the one we did last week is due Monday at 3 for Section 1. It's due Wednesday at 9 next week for Section 2 for the 2 lab sections. Okay? So another big reminder of the things that you need to do before lab, just like we talked about in lab. You need to read the experiment, you need to prepare your notebook, and you need to pass the pre-lab quiz. Okay? So don't forget to do that pre-lab quiz. Okay? In D2L, it's due by the beginning of the lab period. Feel free to post into the lab discussions. There's a section in the discussions for lab stuff. If you're having trouble with the pre-lab quiz, that's totally fair game to post about in the lab discussions up in there. So that's totally great. Read that last question carefully. There's a part where it tells you to set x equals velocity squared and then solve for velocity or something like that. But you have to rearrange that and solve for one of the variables inside of that equation. So read that very carefully. Make sure you know exactly which variable it is you're solving for, okay, in one of those. So remember, you get 3 attempts at that. If you exhaust your 3 attempts, you can contact me and I can have a look through it. I'll probably be able to reset them for you. I'll be much more likely to reset them for you if you contact me maybe a day before it's due. Much less likely to reset them if it's on the day of. So, what else? It's not for a while yet, so not an immediate concern, but our first actual thing we'll be doing in class here is our first quiz that'll be at the start of class. So remember, there are 3 quizzes and 3 exams. The quizzes just take 25 minutes or so at the start of class. Okay? So the first quiz, it's on the calendar. It'll be Monday, September 14. It'll be just 2 conversion word problems where you'll need to show your work. We're going to be starting to look at those today, and we'll be spending most of the time on Monday working on that kind of thing. Okay? It could be English metric conversions, SI, prefixes, density, just general word problems that involve interpretation of conversion factors, and we'll talk all about what that means. Could be a dosing problem, that's the same sort of thing. The conversion sheet will be provided. It's the same one that is on the inside front cover of your notes packet. I believe the bottom half of it, that has the list of English and metric conversions that you will be given. Okay? We're going to talk, there are some conversions that you need to know. You need to know how to do the metric conversions. You won't be given any of that, but we'll talk all about that. So no need to worry about that just right now, but I wanted to have that down right away so that we were fully prepared for that. Anybody have any questions about any of our business, any of our dates, any of our stuff? Continue introducing yourself. If you're having trouble finding something or you're not sure how to get somewhere, post in that general discussions, that very first one inside of the discussions there. That's the place for that sort of stuff, and we'll help each other out and make sure that we all find all the places we need to be and all the links and all the things where we need to go. Okay? So, no other questions? I'm good?